I want to talk about the one arm hangs and about shoulders, because I thought your argument about why you should do one arm hangs instead of lifting from the floor was really interesting, and I have a counter argument, so I want to get into that in a minute. Yeah, what did a session look like, and then how did you progress the sessions over the course of a summer?
I would have like an annoyingly long warm up, like I was training with Kieran and Tong. I don't know if you know, he's low key, but he's strong as fuck. And like, I remember he would get like kind of annoyed with me because I would warm up for so long. So I just like, you got to make sure you're super, super warm. So that takes quite a while. Like I do like I just like tug with my feet on the ground, and then I'd like grab, like two hands, and I'd kind of just like unweight one hand and then kind of like go to the other and like unweight it. And then like you get to where you can like hang, no weight or whatever. So that kind of takes a while. And then like once I'm fully warmed up, I would only do 3 sets of like max weight with like almost 4 minutes rest per hand.
Just one rep, 5 seconds or something?
I'll do 7 seconds.
7 seconds.
And I feel like maybe I wasn't hitting the volume to like really make me super tired, since I was only doing 3 sets, because to be fair, I didn't have like very much training knowledge at all. I was just kind of like doing what I thought made sense.
Well, I think, this is a whole aside that this could be a whole podcast about this, but I think a lot of people who get really strong from consistent training are, they kind of are in this like perfect ignorant bliss sort of, like you just did something perfect. You kept it really simple and you were consistent as fuck for long enough to make a really big difference. Whereas I know a lot about training, and I've talked about it with tons of people. I just overcomplicate things or overthink things all the time. So I think that's, literally 3 hangs of 7 seconds. That's your workout. You do that once every 5 days.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's crazy.
Yeah. But it allows you to go like, I'd say those 3 sets were like, of the highest quality. Like I was like giving it everything I had and stuff. And like, I felt like pretty wrecked, but I felt like if I did like, I feel like most people do like 5 sets or more even. I would have just been like totally blown.
Yeah. Are you going to failure? Are you like failing right at the 7 seconds? Or are you leaving a buffer? Or?
I feel like usually I would fail right at the 7 seconds. I would only go up weight if I like hit all 3 sets at 7. That's when I would go up weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your first set is already at like your working load for the day, and you keep the load the same for all 3 sets. Okay.
Yeah. And so like there's definitely like some warm up sets in there. Like I would warm up with like a lower weight and stuff like you do for lifting.
Hey friends, I want to take a minute to tell you about a new product that I am so excited about. This is the Vertex Alpine Approach Shoe from Arc'teryx. I'm not an alpine climber, but I love bouldering in the mountains in Colorado. And a lot of the bouldering I do during this summer has really long approaches. And I need a shoe that is comfortable, super durable, and I also need to be able to trust them when I'm scrambling around on talus. These shoes are amazing. They're super grippy. They have this climbing toe cap, so they're really good on rock. You can smear in them. They're great for technical approaches. They're super lightweight, and you can move really fast through the mountains with these shoes. They're also available in Gore-Tex. I got the Gore-Tex version because I'm going to be crossing streams, hiking up muddy trails as the snow melts, and crossing snowfields to get to my projects in Rocky Mountain National Park this summer. These shoes are literally perfect. Check out the Vertex Alpine and the Vertex Alpine GTX by clicking my special link right there in the video description, and enjoy the rest of the video.
But yeah, I got up to where I don't know my record for the middle Beastmaker, but on the lattice 20 mil, I've held 60 pounds on my left hand, which is way stronger than my right hand.
Oh, that's interesting. There's an imbalance. Yeah.
Yeah, like a crazy imbalance.
Really?
Like, it sucks. Yeah. Like we're talking like, gosh, I know in the small Beastmaker, it's like 30 pounds versus like 10.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'd have to look for my numbers on like the bigger edges.
Do you notice it when you're climbing? Do you like favor
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there's so many times where I'm like, damn, if this move was mirrored, I could just house it. Yeah.
Well, damn, dude.
Like,
20 mil plus its body weight plus 60 pounds on one hand is very impressive. The small Beastmaker, which is 13 mil rounded plus 30 pounds, is insanely impressive too. That's crazy. That's crazy. So tell me your rationale for why you prefer one arm hangs to lifting off the ground.
So I think why I prefer one arm hangs is because it really targets your like shoulder and lat as well, and it's kind of like working that like whole like chain. So like a lot of the times the reason I'd fail is because not my fingers would give out, but my shoulder would give out. And I feel like, I don't know, it just like it made sense to like have like that, like the shoulder and the lat be like, you know, as strong as the fingers, so it can like do, gosh, I don't know how to explain this well, but like I also feel like it just kind of, the way I climb, I'm like really just climbing with my shoulders a ton, and it just kind of like lets you grab a hold and like pull your shoulder into position and then just do whatever you want with the rest of your body. And I feel like it like really helps with my climbing style. Like I'm like, I always like pull in. And I think it's also just good for like injury prevention. Like it gives you like just kind of like bulletproof shoulders and stuff. And I feel like my shoulders and lats like are pretty strong. And I actually remember after I took my year off from climbing and I was getting back into it, I remember like when I'd cut feet on moves, like my fingers could hold on, but I felt like my shoulders were giving out as I was holding. I was like, oh man, this feels like tweaky. And so I think it's good to just kind of have like everything pretty balanced, and just make sure like the whole chain is pretty strong.
Yeah, I think that's a good argument. I think that's actually the right thing for you to be doing because of how strong your fingers are. So that's my kind of caveat that I was thinking about after our first convo. I think if you're strong enough to hold a 20 mil edge with 30 to 60 pounds added to your body weight with one arm, then that's really good shoulder training. And you know, if you're just lifting off the ground, you're missing out on some great opportunity there. For me, and for a lot of people out there who maybe they started climbing later in life, or maybe finger strength just like isn't as it just doesn't come as easy. Like I have to take enough weight off of a one arm hang that it's not effective shoulder training. So I think for me, what's felt really good is lifting from the ground, because it just feels more precise with the load than like trying to use any kind of pulley system or assistance, just because of the nature of pulleys, especially with like rope. There's so much friction in the system. I've noticed that like if you kind of sag into it, you can kind of cheat it a little bit. So lifting off the ground is more precise for the fingers, but then I train my shoulders separately, just hanging on a bar with weight added.
Yeah, and I was about to bring that up. I think it's good as long as you're not fully neglecting the shoulder, then I think it's fine. But I feel like if you're only doing the pickups and not hitting the shoulder as well, then I feel like I don't know, it could be bad.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's a good point. You're killing two birds with one stone, man.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that's nice about the blocks is it's like easier to track. So with the one arm hangs, it's like, you know, based on your body weight and stuff, and like, you know, like everyone fluctuates a few pounds here and there, but with the blocks, like it doesn't matter how much you weigh, it's still gonna be like, it's easier to track, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to consider like what you're wearing that day, whether you're wearing heavier shoes or
exactly,
whatever.
Yeah.